Second down, here's DeWanger. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a third down and 12.
Well, they went back to it, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt they'll get another opportunity here on third and long.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
He was brought down at his 49-yard line. Brings up third down.
On the set.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. To throw, it's Lance. And that will be incomplete. They sure went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on third and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
Lance going to sneak it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down.
Here we go.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. First and 10, Taylor now. Jerome Baker there on the tackle. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
The run, 2nd and 9. And Lance now to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Running left, Taylor. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 83 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. They'll send the tight end in motion. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. On the option to give to Taylor here. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And they'll send the time. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
And this one is right down Broadway. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard.
Pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Prescott. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Up the middle, here's Sermon. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The penalties don't usually hurt as much as their game wiped out by the flag.
And you and I both know that an offense only gets a couple of those big moments in a normal game. You've got to take advantage of them. When you give one away because of an avoidable penalty, that's a major disadvantage. Just steals away every bit of momentum you just generated with that play.
Now Dak. Catch is made by Metcalf. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Dak. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with third down coming up. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
To throw, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Desperation time. Prescott on fours. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Like the design that we're seeing right there, this is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Here's Prescott. He finds his target, Allen. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane. Never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Prescott. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Prescott to throw. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions have just about sewn up this football game. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Lions, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it's a potentially